If you want to brighten up a bare corner of your garden or your patio, then a simple way to do it is with pots of summer flowering bulbs. Here, on this little bit of flagstone paving, we look at it across the garden. It's sort of uneventful at the moment, but with 3 pots placed here with different heights and spectacles of flower in them, suddenly it will transform it into a focal point. Now I want to talk to you about the rule of 3. There is something instantly attractive about trios in a garden, about triangles, about groups of 3. Psychologists will tell you exactly why. I can't, except to say that I like them. And with this vast array of summer flowering bulbs, I've got a great choice that I can choose things from. This is a white flowered pendulous begonia, and I'm going to plant begonias in the smaller one. More on them in a mow. In the middle one, this cracking lily called Chartwell. There are 2 packets of 2. There they are, all ready to sprout. They'll go in the middle-sized pot. And then in the large one at the back, dahlias. Now, people don't often grow dahlias in pots, but they're really good in large containers, especially if you water and feed them well. Dahlias are greedy plants. One look at dahlia foliage, succulent and juicy, and you can tell that they're greedy blighters. But in a pot, you're in sole charge of watering and feeding, and that means you can give them a really rich diet on which to thrive. The dahlias, this is a variety here called Crazy Love. I say nothing. And it's going to come up here somewhere. The lilies will be up to here and the begonias down there. So you're going to get a variation in size and a variation in colour. I could put them all together in the big pot, but the dahlias with all their foliage and heavy flowers would overwhelm both the lilies and the begonias. I'd rather grow them as 3 individual plants in effect, position them together so that I can give them the space to grow and also to see them better than if they're all crammed into the one pot, which is why I'm using 3, the power of 3. If you get them when they haven't started to sprout, sometimes it's difficult to tell which way up they go, but generally speaking, the convex side is downwards, and you can see here this dished top is where the shoots grow from. Geoffrey Smith, that old great gardener I used to know, he always said, if you put the green side upwards and the brown side downwards, you're in with a chance. I've got, goodness me, I've got 5 in here. This is like a lucky bag when you were little, do you remember? Get off. Here we are. 5 lovely tuberous begonias. That's what they often look like. See, that one hasn't started sprouting yet, but it's still quite firm. That's always a good sign for any bulb, whether it's a spring flower or a summer flower. They want to be firm, not soft and mushy. If they're soft and mushy, don't buy them. And these are beauties. One hopes they're all the same colour, but if they're not, well, it's gardening, isn't it, really? We used to just sort of ease them into the surface like that, but we now know that you get much better rooting from them if you actually dig a bit of a hole out, so they're just about 1 inch or half an inch below the surface, because what that makes sure is that when they start to grow, the bases of the stems that are growing can root from the bottom and make them much more stable. And there you go, I'll turn him around that way. I can get 5 in there. I'm very greedy, but it will be a pot beautifully full of colour. That's it. Give it a watering in now with all these containers here. I put crocks in the bottom over the hole. Drainage hole is vital. You don't want them to be soggy, so drainage hole to let the excess water go out, and these just concave side downwards to stop the hole being bunged up. So here we have 4 bulbs, 2 in each, of Chartwell, this glorious pink and white lily. Now the thing you will notice about lily bulbs is that they're scaly. There's a shoot already growing from here, and they're made rather the opposite of the tuber. There's 2 bulbs in each packet, and I'm going to get 4 in here. But what you can see here is little roots coming, and that shows that they root from the base of the stem. So the thing to do is to only half fill your pot. The ducks are quite interested. Only half fill your pot full of compost. Bed them into that evenly spaced, because then as those shoots grow, those roots at the bottom of that stem are going to spread out sideways, help to anchor the plant and give it more nutrition. And then you can fill up on top, having made sure they're all the right way up, with more peat-free multi-purpose compost. Gently tuck it in with your fingertips, being careful not to bash those shoots. 2 out of 3. I reckon I can get 3 of these tubers in this pot. Let's take them out and have a look. It's always an exciting moment, this. You can see that they're okay and alive through the plastic, but when you look at them, all these fleshy tubers here supporting these little green shoots. Put it carefully down there, and all 3 of them look to me, we're having to swim now. Look at that. Oh, it's so promising. It's hard to believe, isn't it, that that little thing there, with that tiny shoot, will produce a massive plant full of those glorious flowers. Crazy love, crazy plant. And then the last one. You think, how on earth can such a glorious plant come from such a dried up piece of plant tissue? But it's not dried up, you see. Inside those tubers there's moisture. And then it's planting time. Now with these, I filled the pot right up because I'm planting these using my hand as a trowel. The compost is really quite soft. Making a hole for each one, tucking them in there, and I'm covering up the shoots so they'll just be protected for a while before they perforate the surface when danger of frost is past, because they are frost tender dahlias. I'm just leaving the old stalk, last year's stalk, sticking out. So there we have it. 3 pots, proving the rule of 3. Well, they will when I put them in the right formation. This chap comes round here. So now from across the garden you'll see the bench, and in front of it dahlias up here, lilies a bit lower, and then the begonias down at the front. And then we end up with a nice place to sit and watch your potted garden grow. Why not join our growing community and subscribe to the channel? I'm posting new videos on gardening every week.